rescuing from a false hope. Meanwhile, the prospects of a humanistic world peace grow ever brighter. Man seems on the verge of solving his problems without God. Peace and safety is the swelling cry. It is the greatest of delusions, the deceptive calm before the storm. Mankind is about to reap the full wrath of God for its rejection of His Son, who Himself is poised to return in vengeance. Surely the signs which herald the second coming are already casting their shadows to signal that our generation is living in the last of the last days. When each of the events we have so far considered stands alone, its value as a last days sign may not seem too impressive. But when we see the convergence of all these events within the same time frame, the pieces of the puzzle begin to fit together. For those who truly belong to Christ, though they mourn for the delusion and disaster they see coming upon the world, there is the joy and excitement of knowing that it cannot be long until they will hear that shout from Christ Himself, calling them to meet Him in the air. Christ could come at any moment to take us to His Father's house, where we will be united with Him eternally. 7 years later, when He appears and every eye shall see Him, and Israel will recognize Him, we will be at His side in glorified bodies to rule and reign with Him, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. That is the Christian's hope. Heaven is our real home, and that is where our hearts are, with Him. The world has lost its appeal, sin has lost its power, and Satan must relinquish his claim upon those who belong to Christ. We have been set free. What motivation that realization gives for both holy living and for declaring with clarity God's message to mankind. And what is that message? The standard quote-unquote evangelistic approach has long been to promise healing and joy and blessing for those who come to Christ, but a world that imagines it is in the process of achieving peace and prosperity has little motivation for heeding such a gospel. The message that is needed is one of conviction of sin and the fear of God. Until men and women realize that they have violated God's laws and that this world is ripening to reap His wrath, they will not see their need for the forgiveness which Christ bought with His blood. That message will be increasingly difficult to deliver in the days ahead, but it is the only one that will prevent quote-unquote converts from coming to Christ for the wrong reasons and thereby being set up to follow the Antichrist when he appears. It is both awesome and thrilling to realize that our responsibility and privilege is to rescue as many as possible from the wrath to come.